I could hear you. Thanks for joining in on the guest chat. So what's going on?
Yeah, so we've been married for 10 years, and he's just, in the beginning, he had jealousy issues, and I told him that that's something that I'm not, like, it's something that I would not deal with. And we argued about it a couple times, and I stood firm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he just suppressed it.
Got it.
And I had a morning job, and I switched from the morning job to an evening job.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I mean, he went full blown, like accusing me that I was going to leave him for another man, that I want to be with somebody else. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just, it's really, really hard because, um, like I know that I'm not, but in his head, it's a reality. So he's, and, you were right. Like he's trying, he went and he bought a book on, like, on how to have me fall back in love with him. And it
Uh-huh.
hurt me because I'm like, I am in love with you, but he thinks he's really convinced that I don't that I stopped loving him. And I
Okay.
think and I think you said I don't know if things have happened in the past and stuff. And like there was an issue that happened with him,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of pushed away a little bit, but I forgave him. And like, it wasn't infidelity, but it was uh it was something that was going to lead to that if it didn't stop.
On his side though.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's very typical, right? So the world isn't as it is, it's as we perceive it. And so we project onto the world with what we feel. So if somebody is so obsessed with you cheating, that's because in their heart and in their mind, they feel that's the way it would work for them. And so, like you saying that makes a lot of sense because at one time he got close to it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's already playing in his mind. Either it was some way how he was raised or previous relationship where it really got ingrained into him and then he's been carrying that with him. And now he's in a relationship with you and projecting that onto you, especially if you're saying you've never done anything to even cause that. It's just a paranoia of his.
Hmm.
When you said that he got a book, I was hoping that it was a book of him how to work through jealousy, not how to make you fall back in love. So he's kind of trying to learn something that isn't the main issue,
Yeah.
right? And so what we always talk here on the lives and within my coaching is how to get to the root of the problem because this is a surface problem, right? So it's not a matter of how can I get you to fall back in love with them or anything like that. It's really of working on his insecurities so he doesn't feel that anymore.
Yeah.
And that's going to start with his own confidence, right? Because jealousy stems from when you think others are going to want something that you don't have or that you're not giving enough of. And
Mm.
so if you had to think there, what would you think he's most like concerned about as far as another man? Why does he
Uh,
think it would be so easy for you to leave him? Like, what would another man offer you that he feels he can't?
he feels like he's not like, like the things that he says is like he thinks he's not smart like I
Mhm.
am. And that, that I'm gonna find someone that is better than him, like nice. And I don't know. I honestly, I I tried to explain to him that I feel like he thinks that every man that I see, or every man that is by me, gets what he gets from me. Like they see me with his eyes, but they don't. Like I tried to explain to him that he's the only person that gets close to me to see me the way he sees me.
Mhm.
And I believe that that's what's making him feel like, oh, everybody wants what I have. And like, he's a very good looking man. I'm a good looking woman. And I tell him all the time, like, you're handsome, And he told me that he's starting to believe that he is handsome,
Hmm.
but that's something that he struggles with. And then we also have like an age gap. Like I'm 10 years older than him, and whenever we're out, like people think he's older than me.
Hmm.
So that also, I guess, affects him.
Because he keeps hearing that over and over.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for the insight on that. So it's just you and I, and our TikTok family on here. But the way that we're gonna get the most value out of this is if we're completely honest. And so I'm gonna ask you a question, and I hope you're okay with being honest with it. If not, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But in your heart and mind, what would you, if you could snap your fingers with your husband, what would you hope he would, what part of himself would you hope he would evolve in to be more of the man that you want him to be?
Oh, just to be kind and nice to me when he's frustrated and upset and going through these things.
When you say he's going through his thing, just when his jealousy.
Um, in everything, because like he'll come home and he's already like in a bad mood instead
Mhm.
of like like I try to smile when I see him
Yeah.
and be happy because I want to see the same.
Okay.
But he's just like or he'll get triggered really quick and not be as nice. And he's not violent, but he's rude.
Mhm. So he takes a lot of frustration and aggression out on you verbally.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's kind of like he wakes up and it's already on his mind, and he's going out throughout his day, going through all this anxiety and jealousy and negative thoughts, and then he just brings it home from after work. So it's constantly like a dark cloud over his head all the time.
Yeah. And then it doesn't help because he'll come home for like an hour and then I leave. And
Hmm.
then while I'm at work, he's messaging me. It's not positive.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
it's only been like this the last like 6 months since I started this new job.
yeah. Okay. So whenever whenever I'm working with somebody and they're telling me the challenge they're going through, like I told you, that's the surface problem. I'm always going to focus on the root of the problem. And in order to do so, I need to gauge what their confidence level is, because a lot of times all it is a lack of confidence. And we, like, for your partner, we're saying he's jealous, he's rude. If I were to walk you through the five elements of a solid foundation of confidence, we would see, okay, he's lacking in these areas. If we have him just work in those areas, the actual surface problem may dissolve. It may not even be relevant anymore, or it will just be extremely easier to work through. And so if I were to tell you this, I'm going to ask you five different questions, and in those five, you just tell me how confident he is in that area or fulfilled. Okay. And so in his ability to defend himself physically, and others that he cares about.
Confident.
Very confident. Does he train in martial arts, or is he just confident because he grew up and or explain to me if you
No,
can.
he has experience from when he was young. He was out in the streets and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he was in jail until he became an adult, and then when I think that's all he knows like from being a teenager to an adult.
Yeah.
And when he
Be
came
violent.
out, yeah. So
Okay. So thank you for sharing that with me. So there's an important thing we want to look at there. As a man, when we're coming up and our introduction into defending ourselves is in the streets, we're constantly going to be looking for challenges to prove that we can defend ourselves. This is why martial arts is so important for young men, because it actually gives them a safe space to test themselves daily, if not, multiple times a week.
Mhm.
So this is something that weighs on us as men. We're constantly seeing everyone else as threats because we really don't have any training. Our introduction to self-defense was if somebody says something, you punch them in the mouth, or if you don't like something that they did, you attack
Yeah.
them,
Mhm.
right? That is not the epitome of self-defense. You
Mhm.
want the skills and the confidence to be able to walk away from something or diffuse something and not feel like you're, for lack of a better term, bitch made.
Mhm.
And so this is something that weighs on him. So we'd want to work on that. Okay. So that's on the martial arts section.
Okay.
The next one is purpose. Is how confident or fulfilled is he with a purpose in life?
I don't think he's. I think
Okay.
that's something he struggles with.
Okay. So this is important because we all need a purpose. A lot of times for the feminine, it's their purpose they get from love, from being loved, from giving love. This is why kids tend to be so much, can be such a big part of a woman's life. And for the man, it's more about protecting them and providing for them, where a woman, it's more of the nurturing for them, right? And so purpose can be a form in many ways, but if a man doesn't have it in his life, he's going to be searching for something. And so it's not, this just shows that he has so much more time and attention to be put somewhere, but right now it's being all directed to you and directed in his mind 24/7 because he has no purpose, right? So we would need to work on his purpose.
Mhm.
Okay, next one, passion. What's something that he loves to do, that he just enjoys to do, and makes him happy when he's doing it?
He writes music and he makes songs.
Okay, how confident is and fulfilled is he in that area?
That's 100%.
Okay, good, good. But does he make money in that area, or is it just a passion?
He doesn't make money. He does it for church.
Beautiful. Okay, that's good. That's good. Next one, fitness. What? How in shape is he? Is he working out? Is he proud of who he sees in the mirror? How confident and fulfilled is he in that area?
He doesn't work out, but I mean, I think he looks good, and I tell
Yeah.
him, like, damn, baby, I like you look good, but I don't know if he believes it.
Well, if he's not working out, does he take care of himself in the way he eats?
No.
Why? Okay. So you got to understand that I'm not saying that you're lying by any means, but love is blind sometimes, right?
Mhm.
And if he wasn't your man for 10 years and you were to look at him with fresh eyes, you may not be as attracted to him as you are now. And that's important because although you see him with loving eyes, when he looks in the mirror, he doesn't. And so it's hard to believe that that if he doesn't find himself attractive, that he's going to believe others find him attractive.
Mhm.
And so this is going to play a big role in jealousy because he's thinking it doesn't take much for another man to look better than him. Whereas if he was working out and he was putting in that work, he was looking in the mirror, he was seeing definition in his muscles, he was eating proper macronutrients, so he was feeling good, and he would know that most other men aren't going to look like him, right? And
Mhm.
and honestly, you would have a different lust for him as well on top of that. And so this is going to play a big part of him, not only on the physical aspect, but on the mental aspect, because working out gives us dopamine and it gives us endorphins. These are natural chemicals that are drugs. These are the people think when you take drugs, it makes you those specific things, what you're putting in your body makes you feel a certain way. No, what you put in your body releases chemicals that are already in us, like the dopamine, like the endorphins, like oxytocin, like serotonin, all these different chemicals that our body naturally makes. and working out delivers a lot of those to us. So when we don't, um, you know, you and I, we're both adults. I'm sure you've had a hangover before, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel so well, right?
Mhm.
And so you could imagine if you're not getting like those good feelings, you're kind of like, you're always, you don't ever have that release. This is why people drink so much a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's 'cause it's real easy to feel that dopamine and that by just taking a swig or taking a hit of something.
Yeah.
That's why drugs are so relevant in society because it shifts your state immediately with a lot less effort. But you miss out on the endorphins because endorphins is the drug that you get from pushing yourself past your normal abilities, like your normal state. And so this is going to play a big role in him as well. And so last but not least, family. In his, how fulfilled and confident is he in his role that he plays as a family member?
He struggles there.
Okay. So if we were like in my coaching, we have worksheets, right? And so we would fill in all these bars from 0 to 100%. Right now, I would say most of them you said were like maybe martial arts we would put at 40. Although it's a false confidence, it's still a confidence.
Yeah.
And then there's purpose, you said pretty much zero. You passion, you said boom, that's probably like 90%. That's way up there.
Yeah.
And then the other two, fitness and family, those are at I don't know, 0 to 10%. So it would look pretty all small except for the one passion. And if we, in order to have a solid foundation of confidence, we need all those as evenly as possible. And so we could say, okay, we're not going to be working on what his thoughts of our jealousy or what's going on with you at work. We'd say we need to have him start doing these things. And so I would suggest for you, Nalita, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, it's Nelida.
Nalita, um, that as he obviously values you and loves you and wants you more, that you use that as leverage to motivate him to start working out. Have him enroll into, how old is he?
He's 35.
35. So have him enroll into jujitsu. That's what I would suggest for his age. I started training at 33, so he's still right in the prime right there.
Okay.
And then passion, he's good. You don't need to push him on his passion anymore. Just give him his freedom and let him be there. He's good. But you also should help him in working out. Whether you want to join the gym with them, just so you guys spend quality time, or encourage him to start there,
Yeah.
you'll want to do that. And then of course purpose. He's going to need to find a purpose. But in my coaching, we don't try to focus on all of them at the same time. We typically choose one or two. And in this case, I would suggest have him train in martial arts and start working out immediately.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And is
Thank
there
you.
any follow-up questions for me? I know because look, sometimes it's so way off of what you're expecting compared to what the answers I give. And so I want to still give you some time if you have any follow-up questions.
No, I mean it's very helpful just to know where to start
Hmm.
because us women, we try to like okay, I'm just gonna look really nice today and I'm gonna smell good and look good and
Hmm.
that's gonna fix it. But no, it doesn't. It's not
No,
enough.
I mean, it might
Yeah,
make it worse, right? Because you're like,
yeah,
damn, my woman
it
looks good,
does.
looks
It
good,
does.
smells good, and if your mind you think like, damn, I'm a slob, I'm out of shape, you even mentioned
Yeah.
that he doesn't feel he's intelligent.
Yeah, it makes sense now. Like it
Hmm.
really does.
Yeah. And so a trick that I want to give you because he's so unconfident in those other areas, I want you to always remember success leaves clues. And so if I was working with your husband, I would be learning more about his passion for music and his producing. And I would constantly leak the confidence that he has there.
Mm-hmm.
to help start motivating him in other areas,
Okay.
you know? And so if he ever has like, well, I don't know where to start, this is an example. You could be like, well, what about music, my love? Like, what, when you first started, you didn't know anything then, right? But look how good you are there.
Yeah.
How did you start taking those first steps? And then he himself is going to remember, oh, this is what I did. Well, that's all you need to do for jujitsu, or that's all
Yeah.
you need to do for the gym. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you jumping on to have a
Thank you.
conversation. I would say this is
Yeah.
you're my very first one who actually joined in as a live guest, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I appreciate it too.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.